I don't believe it. Bunker shots. They strike fear into most golfers. And why, I wonder? Well, I'm sure they get fed up with people like me and my fellow instructors telling you how easy it is just to get out of the sand. Well, in fact, you know it is, but there are certain rules and regulations that you must abide by. Most people play their golf at their home club, particularly in the United Kingdom, although there are plenty of travellers that go through Europe and indeed come and visit America on occasions. But just think what sort of sand you have at your golf club. Now, if you play by the seaside and step into a bunker, odds are you're going to go down 6 or 8 inches in loose sand. So you might need a bunker club with a wider flange on the bottom. That will assist you. If you play on the hard, certainly in the summertime, hard-baked courses of North London, where the sand sometimes gets rather compacted, you might need an edge with a little thinner edge, more like a pitching wedge, so you can play more of a cut-up shot rather than a full-blooded blast where you just hit the sand and everything comes out in one glorious flowing movement. Then, of course, you've got the golf clubs on the downs overlooking Worthing and Brighton, where the wind blows and the head greenkeeper goes potty trying to keep the sand in the bunkers. Well, here the sand is very light and it's very, very powdery. Now, that also has its problems. If you get heavy rain, it goes a bit gooey, a bit like semolina pudding. But today, it's light and fresh and pure white, almost like crushed marble. Our pupils this time are Paula Sainty and Matthew Alfrey, the son of Ron, who plays off 6. Let's join them now. They're with Wally. Was I right in my description of most people being terribly afraid of them? But in fact, if they get 1 or 2 things right, at least they can get out. And then if they 2-putt, they're down in 3 from every greenside bunker, and the handicap comes tumbling down.
That's right. If they can just understand a few basic principles of the sand, how to move the sand out and let the ball ride on the sand.
Well, Paula and Matthew are waiting for you. I'm going to listen eagerly. I'll leave you to it.
I'm ready to go. Let's go. Great. Let's see you take a swing, Paula.
Okay.
All right. You haven't been playing too long, have you?
No, about 8 months or so.
Well, I'm going to give you some good things to think about in the trap today.
Okay.
And the most important thing is to realize what gets the sand out of the bunker.
Right.
It's not the face. You can see this is a real interesting club, isn't it?
Yep.
It doesn't have a face in it.
Oh.
And so what I'm going to show you is that the bottom of the club, which is the flange, splashes the sand out. Kind of like in a swimming pool. You know, when you've been swimming, you don't dip your hand under the water and then lift the water up and throw it at someone. What do you do?
Just sort of splash the surface.
You kind of splash it down, and the downward motion of your hand splashes the water out.
Right.
So I'm going to teach you how to use the bottom of the club to splash this, spank the sand, and the sand will come out.
Okay.
So let me hit one and show you what I mean.
Okay.
Just step right back here. People are always wondering how I can do this, so I'm just going to splash the sand out.
Wow.
Now, see, most people think that the face scoops it out, but it's the bottom of the club that enters the sand behind the ball, see? And then it pushes the ball out ahead. And the ball rides up on a bed of sand. So when you're playing in the sand, you want to think about moving sand rather than hitting the ball.
Okay.
So why don't you come up here?
Right.
And let's start you out.
Okay.
And the first thing in the sand play is you want to open the face just a little bit.
Right.
What that does is that allows the flange to slide.
Okay.
And rather than dig.
Right.
And as it slides under the ball, the sand will splash right up.
Okay.
Okay, that's it. So you want to open the face a little bit.
A little bit more.
There you go. Now, one thing you need to understand is that the sand is always going to fly the direction that the face points.
Right.
So I've got another club I want to show you. How's that?
Okay.
Is that visual enough?
Yep.
Now, see, this shows the direction that the flange points.
Right.
See? So when you open the face, always in the bunker, you want to take a real light grip and open it.
Right.
Then you want to set your hands on the club.
Okay.
Let's see, what a lot of people do is they know they're to open the face and they set their hands.
Yep.
Then they open the face.
Right.
See? Now what's going to happen when they swing? It's going to close, isn't it?
Close, yeah.
So the reason I like to use little stickers on the face is so when a person opens it, then they can set their hands.
Right.
See? Now the face is pointed over there, so the next thing you need to do is turn your body around, open up, so the face is at your target. Now when you swing through, the face will be open,
Right.
but it's aimed to the hole, so the sand will fly towards the hole.
Okay.
Now, the last thing you want to do is you want to lean a little to the left.
To the left.
And when you lean to the left, that allows the club to come up and slide when you come into the ball.
Right. Okay.
Okay?
Right.
And we're going to take a little swath of sand, about this much,
Right.
and move that right up to the green, okay? Excellent. Lean a
Okay.
little left
To the left.
and go right through and splash that sand up on the green.
Okay.
And away. Move the sand. Beautiful shot, right up on the green. You notice how straight it went?
Yeah.
You had the face right up there, and look, the face, the ball never touched the face, did it?
No.
So that shows that the bottom of the club moved it out.
That's great.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, you did real well. I'm going to go
Okay.
work with Matthew a little bit.
Thanks.
You ready?
I am.
Okay. You were listening, weren't you?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Well, let's talk about moving some sand, and I'm going to use a board here, Matthew. And I'm going to aim this board at the holes, the 2x4. It's a great way to practice bunker play. And we're talking about moving a certain amount of sand to the hole at a certain height and a certain speed.
Right.
Now, when you close the face, the club digs. When you open it, it slides. And a great way to get that feeling of the sliding, or they call it a bounce, is to use a 2x4 like this, Matthew. So why don't you address that sand. I want to just see if you can move that sand up onto the green now. Open the face and set your hands. There you go. Now just go ahead and move that sand up on the green. Throw it up on the green. Beautiful. Now let's see where you hit the bottom of the club. See, on the back edge.
Oh, I see.
See?
Mhm.
So a good way to practice sand play, Matthew, is take a painted board, bounce it.
Right.
Then when you play your shot, I want you to try to sand that paint off the bottom, okay?
I
So
see.
take your grip and just take a swing and try to sand the paint off the bottom of the club. So how are you going to do that? If you want to clear that paint off, how would you swing
Have
to
to
get
get
that off?
underneath it.
All right, go ahead, spank the sand, try to get it off. Beautiful. See, you've got to spank it, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I mean by playing with the bottom of the club. See, it's coming off.
Right.
Okay? Now let me show you a great progression to work with. You moved the sand that time. Now we're going to move some sand up. This time we're going to put a ball on it.
Mhm.
Now I don't want you to think about the ball. I want you to just still move the sand.
Right.
And we're going to open the face, then put your hands, then swing right through now. And the ball just comes right up off the sand.
Mhm.
Now the next progression is we come over here. Now we're going to move some sand. Let's move that sand on the green. Clear the sand. Beautiful. See?
Mhm.
And then let's move the sand and see what the ball does. Excellent shot. So you see the progression that we've made?
Mhm.
You move the sand off the board, then the ball's on the sand on the board,
Right.
then we move the sand, and then finally the ball.
Mhm.
And these are great ways that you can practice
That's
the
right.
sand shots. Now, Paula,
Right.
we're going to move the sand towards that basket. I like to practice moving towards a target, and sometimes it's fun to use a basket like that because then you have a mental image of seeing the sand fly up there. But people always ask me, well, how hard do I swing?
Right.
Now, the way I learned it is with a football. You call it a football, we call it a
Yeah.
soccer ball. But I learned this by someone teaching me that I take my stance like I was going to throw the soccer ball up to the point where I want the ball to go.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
And you want to get, so you wouldn't stand like this and throw it.
No.
You'd open here,
Right.
and you'd swing your arms. So that's the feeling you want to have. How far do I hit it? Well, you think about throwing a ball up there, how hard you would swing your arms. Okay?
Yep.
So I'm going to give you this now. I'm going to go up there by that basket. And I want
Right.
you to take your stance,
Okay.
and I want you to swing that ball and just throw it up here to me with your arms. Beautiful. Now I'm going to throw it back. Now catch it. Now swing it up here again. Just throw it. See? Perfect. And that's how hard you need to swing on that shot. You wouldn't
Yep.
want to swing any harder.
Okay.
you understand? Now,
Yep.
if I'm back here, how hard are you going to throw it? Beautiful. So that's a good gauge that you can work with to determine how hard to
Yep.
swing through the ball. Is just
Okay.
think about this, and think about how you set with your body.
Right.
See, and the arms swing the ball up. You never want to hit
Okay.
the sand shot.
Right.
Does that make sense?
It does, yes.
Great.
Right.
Okay. Here we go.
To practice.
Now let's play for the basket. Right here.
Okay.
We're going to put the ball down, and I like to draw a little island around it because that's the sand we want to move. Of course,
Right.
you can't do that when you play.
No.
And you also can't touch the sand with the club.
Right.
It's a penalty.
Mm-hmm.
So let's aim to open the face. Now set your grip. Now move in there. That away. Now what did I say? You need to lean to the left a little. Great. Then we're going to throw that sand up right into the basket now. Feel like you're throwing that soccer ball up there now. Swing the arms. Nice shot. A little bit too much sand.
Yeah.
Here was the ring, and there's where you played.
Okay.
So I want to
Got
give you
it.
one more picture because mental images are great for the sand. This is a foot,
Yep.
and let's just put it towards the hole. And when you play your sand shot, you want to think about just flopping the foot out on the green. So a good
Okay.
way that you can practice is
Yeah.
to take a footprint towards the hole and put the ball in the middle of it. And then when you practice, you want to enter the club at the heel and come out at the toe. And it's just a great mental image. And of course, then when you get in the trap and you're in somebody's footprint, you don't have any fear because you've already practiced it. So let's go ahead and do it now.
Okay.
Open the face, set your hands, open your stance a little bit, that away, and then lean to the left. And let's let that club go right in at the heel and go under the ball and out by the toe and flop it right up on the green. Beautiful shot. Got it out. Are you ready?
Yep.
All right. You're probably wondering what I'm going to do with you this time.
I am. Yeah.
You know, a lot of people, Matthew, have trouble finding just where to enter into the sand. And it depends a lot on the sand. When it's real soft like this, you want to come back about 3 inches.
Right.
When it's harder, you've got to get a little closer because it doesn't take as much sand to compact to move the ball out. So what I like to practice with is a pipe cleaner, a little red one. Now on this sand, and you can practice this way at home, and when you're out practicing, is just lay it back there about 3 inches. Now set up to it. And that's where you want that club to enter to go under the ball.
I see.
So you can practice, and you've got a little mental image there, a little picture to go with. Now, let's enter the club right at the pipe cleaner and go under the ball. Beautiful shot. You clip the cleaner, look at the ball.